Hey, welcome back to Astrological Intentions, and welcome to all of our new subscribers. My name's Alex Rueve. I am your host here, and I also have my mother on air with me.
I'm Sandy, and I guess you're asking me the questions.
Yes.
But we'll first talk about transits, what actually is happening in the sky this week that everyone can pay attention to.
Yes, the need to know, as well as talisman times. So this is where we go into all of the talismans that we've made last week, as well as the ones that are coming up this week.
Yes. And then we go to On the Horizon, where we'll be next week.
Right. So we just got back from Mont-Tremblant, and we're heading to Colette Baron Reed's event, the Oso Fest, as well as Wanderlust Brooklyn.
And then we talk about Our House. And that's a story of mother-daughter.
In the middle of the charts.
It's a really cute story about mom, daughter, how maybe we're using the energy.
And how I get to wear your dress.
Right. Let's find that out. Whoever would have thought that.
And stick around until the end of the episode for a special offer exclusively for our podcast listeners.
Yay.
You got the keys. You got the keys. You got the keys. You got the keys.
Okay, let's get this show on the road. Mars is direct. This is great, great news for us all.
It stationed yesterday morning about 9:05 a.m. This is Central Time. We're still in Chicago. It sounds like we don't travel at all, but Tuesday is the one day
Tuesday,
we're
we're always here. This is so great. At the Jazz Fuzz Studio in Chicago.
It's a perfect place to be. But let's talk about Mars direct. This has been a long, arduous summer with Mars in retrograde, because when a planet goes retrograde, it's not doing its regular work. And Mars energy for sure is the physical vitality. It's moving forward. It's where rubber meets the road.
It's marching. It's the warrior. It's the
athlete.
It's the energy
soldier.
we need to go into battle.
Right? And it's just not been there for us. And so, had you known this starting in June 27th at the beginning of the summer, that you were able to kind of plug in, rejuvenate, recharge. It's certainly a recharge time for one, if one could stay near home, stay near an electrical source, stay near a family, like a support system. Mm-hmm. And so yesterday it moved forward at 28 degrees Capricorn.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So any Mars in Capricorn, you and I click.
High five.
Yeah, we both have our Mars in Capricorn. But it's stationed at 28 degrees. Now it'll stay here for a little bit of a time, because anytime a planet stations to turn the opposite direction, and again in this case it's forward direction, it spends many days at that turn. Mm-hmm. And so anyone that has a birthday January 12th has this 28 degree Capricorn sun. Now that is the one place, when we give birthdays, it will always be where the sun is. So it's only birthdays. That's all I can talk about unless you send in your birth information.
Or your chart. Some people know that they have a 28 degree Capricorn moon. Some
touche.
Majority maybe don't. Right. Maybe.
Well, which is why everybody knows a birth date. Anybody that has a January 12th or 11th or 13th, or knows anybody that does. The opposite of that is July 14th. This would be 28 degrees of Cancer. Mm-hmm. So anyone having a birthday around that time has this Mars slowing down around their sun, either in a conjunction on the 12th, January 12th, or opposition on July 14th. So, or like you said, anybody that has a sun, moon, or ascendant in Aries, because what rules Aries?
Mars. So, pay attention to anyone that has this. You're feeling the new uptick.
You're feeling the new advancement.
But that also goes for, everyone around.
Oh, everyone, yes.
This is, everyone's kind of Mars going on. This is just the overall energy of the universal cosmic energy.
Right. And I just gave those dates that they're feeling it the most. So this whole time, starting from this June 27th when it went retrograde at 9 degrees Aquarius, these birthdays are January 29th for a conjunction and July 1st for the opposition.
And those people might have felt a degree of personal power was lost, that their energy was turning more inward than outward.
Right. And that you've not been able to get a project off the ground. You couldn't express yourself clearly, that there might have been frustration, possibly anger, or you just really didn't care anymore. You've lost interest.
Well, glad that's over with.
Seriously, and we don't have to worry about this again. The next retrograde's not until September 2020, and that will be in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So we have many episodes prior to that.
Awesome.
And so this is really pay attention in your life. What roadblocks that you can overcome now? This is a time to jump over a hurdle. Go around the hurdle. There's more realistic goals.
But we finally have the energy to do it.
Exactly.
Instead of being that more submissive, I'll do it tomorrow, or I just can't handle it right now.
True.
Yeah.
Right. So, you can, it's also a time where you can finish up this almost psychological battle that goes on between your conscious mind, what you know, and your unconscious self that now gives the power to direct and move our life forward. So, some of this, pushing ahead, take action, set clear goals, right?
Absolutely. Those are all things that we can do, especially in this Mars going direct. This is really times to get better, get more efficiency going, and get this momentum happening right now. Because if we don't have a project that we're, already working on, we're most likely looking out for one. So get those wheels turning, get that energy going where you feel this kind of chugga, 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 chugga energy happening, and it's just building.
Right. And that's a good thought because, Mars, who likes to go fast, has not been able to. So it's going to take a minute for it to get moving, over the next, say, week. To its regular speed, but know that you're going in the direction. It's okay to now set your sight for that bull's eye.
Yeah, and let's even talk a little bit about Mars being in Capricorn, because not normally would we say, Mars in an Earth sign would be great, but Mars in Capricorn is wonderful, right?
Well, it's exalted. Yes.
What does that mean?
So all planets have a sign where they rule, or what's called their domicile, where they're home, where they're comfortable. Mm-hmm. And then each planet has a sign that they are exalted in, and exalted means they're in high regard there. It's almost like they've gone to their best friend's house and they are treated like a queen or a king. They're welcomed with high respect.
Awesome.
And Mars.
So Mars rules Aries. And
Scorpio, that's a traditional ruler.
Ancient ruler. Okay. So then, but Saturn rules Capricorn.
Correct.
And Capricorn's an earth sign. So tell me about how Mars works with Capricorn.
So Mars is that energy, that push forward, that vitality, and Capricorn rules naturally the 10th house, which is where Saturn is. And so the long-term plan, the what mountain are we climbing this go around, to have organized earth, solid
plans, determination.
Having benchmarks, lists, something that you can feel productive around, right?
Awesome. So just getting momentum in this Capricorn energy, which Capricorn, as I recall, is the mountain goat that knows how to ascend the sheer cliff of a mountain with ease and grace, and knows how to use all of its hooves quickly with, crazy agile ways of climbing this crazy mountain that, when you're looking down, it's probably terrifying. But having that Mars energy of knowing the sky's the limit and that's where we're going is exciting. This is a wonderful transit going on right now.
It is. And remember, it's only going to stay here for a little bit of time because that's at 28 degrees. Then we go to 29 and then we go to 0 Aquarius. So we're going to move through Aquarius pretty quickly after this. So do you have any fun facts for us?
Yes, actually, I noticed that Mars Direct is actually the name of a proposal for a human mission to Mars, which one, claims to be cost effective, and two, very possible with current technology. So that also reminds me a little bit about that Mars and Capricorn of getting our plan together and getting this Mars Direct motion of, we got the plan, we know the resources we need, now let's just go. Let's go to Mars.
Let's blast off. That's so funny that they've called that Mars Direct.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thanks, Alex.
So let's get into where we've been traveling.
I'll try it first. Mont-Tremblant.
Mont-Tremblant. Yep.
I was practicing.
We tried. We tried. We started learning a little bit of French, like bonjour and
bonjour.
That's about as far as we got there.
I was speaking my language there. We taught class. We taught the moon sign. We were doing the Wanderlust Festival. And it's actually the last Wanderlust Festival this season.
Of the year.
Yeah. And so it was our second time in Canada. We had a ball. But this was the French-speaking, flying into Montreal and then driving up to Mont-Tremblant. We met great people.
Wonderful people.
Oh, my
gosh.
gosh.
Shout out to all of our Wanderlusters in Mont-Tremblant.
We'll be back next year.
Yes, absolutely.
And hopefully you're here listening because literally we did that again. Grab their phones.
Yep.
And ding, 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 ding. And signed them up as a subscriber. So I'm sure they're listening tonight.
And we did get some amazing testimonials. People talking about our workshop, how wonderful it was. Because a lot of people don't realize that there is so much more to astrology that they can even utilize in their day-to-day life. And so I think that was a lot of the feedback that we were getting from our workshop.
And I mean, when we have to stop at the store to get a big box of tissue, in this case,
we get two things. We get two things. We get a box of tissues and we get a toaster oven. We must be like the weirdest people ever.
But when you can touch someone that deeply, right, that they know they have the power and that they can pull that up and they go into and have, some tears coming in or literally out sobbing, that, you've touched something in them that has been dormant. And that's one of the things I love about our whether it's the moon, what we were teaching moon at Tremblant. But,
yeah, that is. We absolutely love our workshops, and we're going to be speaking with Wanderlust with our 2019 tour. So also, if anyone has any ideas of what you'd like to see in our upcoming workshops, text me. Well, actually, don't text me. Message us on Instagram. Message us through our website. We'd love to hear your ideas because we want to cater to you. This is what we're doing here, is to teach you about astrology and how you can connect with a talisman and set your sights high, especially in this Mars Capricorn energy.
So where are we going next? We're off this weekend.
Finally.
I'm going to go up on my rooftop deck.
And I've got a wedding.
No one's going to find me. Although I will be making talisman. We'll talk about that in a second. But my next big thing is with Dreamweavers, Colette Baron-Reed. It's her year-end large ceremony that I'll be going in, and we'll be making talismans there as group to pull in what they have learned that this entire year with Colette Barron-Reed.
Because she has like a school, right?
Right.
Where she takes like a limited amount of people and they get to learn. Well, if you don't know who Colette Barron-Reed is, she's a fabulous psychic, medium, and teacher.
Oracle school.
Yeah. And it's an oracle school, I think, where they learn these, spiritual teachings,
gifts
that they can then use either for clients or for their own lives. And you're coming in as the closing ceremony, facilitator, where you're making beads and talismans.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And then what's up next after that?
Well, then you've got,
and that's a private event, right?
Yeah.
Then we have Theosophist, the Theosophical Society here in Chicagoland area, which is going to be absolutely wonderful. It's a very cool event. It's all outdoors, usually beautiful weather, lots of different vendors where you can learn so many different things. And it's located at the Theosophical Society, which is around what area? That's a good question. We'll keep you
think about.
We'll keep you
I've been there a
posted
couple
on that
times.
one.
I forgot. Yeah.
But it's around the Chicagoland.
Yeah, and that's September 8th, and it's a one-day outdoor festival. We're sending one of our beautiful cosmic aligners to work the show for us.
Astrological satellites.
Yes.
She'll be flying around there teaching about what we do. Also, then September 9th, I will be in Brooklyn for the Wanderlust 108, which is a one-day event where everyone comes in, you do a non-competitive 5K, do some yoga as well as meditation, and I am there in charge of the booth.
Yay,
manning loads of questions and talking astrology.
That's great. And so that's what's up for
our travel schedule
for us next. So now you ask, what talismans
what talismans are you working on? Or have you worked on?
Right. So last week, on Thursday, we were in Mont-Tremblant. I did the sun. The sun comes around once a year and hits the Royal Star Regulus. And it occurred on Thursday morning at 7:29 a.m. This is Eastern. That's where Mont-Tremblant is. And it's to have to have great potential and success. The intention, I am prosperous and I always use my energy to do good in every situation. I am a queen. I made one bracelet. I didn't have a whole lot of time with that. The moon moves pretty quick when it moves along a fixed star. Then the next morning, Sunday, August 26th, this is the one I talked about the week prior, at 5:55 a.m., we had the sun, trine Uranus, trine Saturn.
Right, the grand trine.
Right, and it was opposing the moon. This put us into a kite
formation.
Yeah, formation.
Mm-hmm.
And that moon was sitting on the royal star Formaldehyde, and that brings in some dreamy, fantastical idealism. And the intention for that one bracelet I made is to build a dream come true. The affirmation, I finally am able to formulate my inspired idea. This is something that I have visioned over and over again. It's happening in real life now. And then this quick one I did, we got back into town last night, and this morning, here comes, this was Tuesday, August 28th. This morning, the moon was moving with the fixed star Shiat, and it was sextile the station direct Mars. So this was a great time. This morning, I made one bracelet and 7 little orbits for the necklace to attract what is respected. I intellectually pull in a situation or a person that respects me for my strong will and courage. My mental game is on. So because Shiat is the plant, the fixed star of being a thinker, the intelligence. So we, and then with that Mars there is about being respected. Right.
Right.
Strong-willed and courageous.
Yes.
So those pieces I have just put up on the website today.
Beautiful. So tell us what's coming up on the horizon.
Interesting for anyone that wants to do some ceremonies.
Some personal ceremonies.
Yeah, these are ritual. Every broadcast, we give you dates and times and actually wording that you will want to put this in your calendar to do a little ritual, a ceremony, a special, light some candles.
And even if it is a really potent, really awesome time for you, these talismans are on the website as well. As soon as we can get them there. It takes some time adding them to the website and shooting the pictures, but they will be
I was doing pretty good today.
You were.
I was on it with Mars.
Mars is forward marching.
Right. So the next set of, and this is a really interesting, I don't know that this has ever happened in my talisman making career the last 8 years.
It's kind of like a little domino system going on.
What we have coming up on Labor Day, which is Monday, September 3rd, is a alignment of Venus in a sextile to Mercury. All right, Venus is love, relationship, aesthetics, beauty, charm. It's in its own sign, Libra. Mm-hmm. And the sextile is a 60-degree aspect. So it brings opportunities, but they get put in your path, but you have to take the initiative.
Okay.
Right? It's different than a trine, which is 120 degrees. This is half of a trine, let's say, and it's called a sextile.
Okay.
And so it's sextile the planet Mercury. Now remember, Mercury's picking up speed from it being retrograde a week or so ago. So it's now it's covering new areas. And we got the sun in Virgo. What rules Virgo?
Mercury.
We've got the moon in Gemini. What rules Gemini?
Mercury again.
And we have the ascendant as Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. And she's in her other sign. So at Monday, September 3rd at 9:38 p.m., we have the time to set a ritual until 10:32 p.m. This is Central. And this is to find the right words. The affirmation, I verbalize my feelings as they are here in my life. I appreciate how I feel and express accordingly. This is easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
You said easy peasy.
That is so straight. Yeah.
No, I know.
Okay.
You said it today, and when I was writing this, I'm like, that just dropped into my brain when I was writing, and I thought, yeah, easy peasy has a really nice ring with this Venus sextile.
It's a cheery way to say, that was easy.
Yeah, it's a great play on words, and the intention here is to find the right words. So yeah, easy peasy. That's how we do that.
You're welcome.
So this is so interesting. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Copyright Alex.
And so as soon as that Taurus rising moves from 29 goes to 0, the next sign after Taurus is Gemini. Mm-hmm. And what rules Gemini? Mercury. So Mercury's still in the play here. So we can immediately go into our second talisman.
So I want to also just preface here, when there is a sign on the horizon, it's called the rising sign or the ascendant.
Correct.
And then you look towards the chart to look for the ruler and where the ruler's at.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so that's what we're doing here.
Right, because if we can find a connection between two or more planets that are kind of fortified, to make one of those planets that are in the mix, in that aspect that we're going for.
Highlighted.
Yeah. If we can highlight that to be either the Lord of the chart or the ruler of the chart, then we have an even stronger planetary alignment.
Okay.
So in talisman making, I always use the ascendant ruler. And so we go from Taurus, the next sign is Gemini, and we've got that.
So now Mercury's in the
Mercury
lead.
is the
or has the spotlight.
Has the spotlight. And now if we go to the sun, the moon, and the ascendant, which are the three trios, Mercury rules all three.
Interesting.
Virgo, Moon, and Gemini, and Ascendant is Gemini. So here we've got a really strong Mercury. And again, this is sextile Venus. And now here comes the Moon. The Moon now is at 24 Gemini, as we mentioned earlier. So this is to charm groups of people. The affirmation, I enjoy everyone around me, and in turn, they enjoy me. I speak honestly to them, and they hear my exact words and their meaning.
Okay.
This is to be very clear with how you're going to speak and enjoy. Venus
and communicate.
is there.
Yeah, and for people to receive your message. Yeah.
So this goes till 12:24 a.m.
Just repeat that date one more time.
Also, Monday, September 3rd. This particular one starts at 10:32 p.m. and goes till 12:24 a.m. Earlier the next morning. And then, I mean, I've had that happen before where they're back to back like that, right? But this one, then we go from Gemini rising, and the next sign is
Cancer.
Cancer rising. And what's the ruler of Cancer?
Anybody guess? The Moon. All of our Wanderlusters better know this.
And so the Moon now is the ruler of the whole chart. And she is in a sextile to the Mercury, which is the ruler of the Moon and the Sun in this particular time frame. And she's also trine to Venus. So this intention is to socialize with people who are close in proximity.
Cool.
So the affirmation, I create harmonious and entertaining gatherings with my neighbors and or siblings. I'm very close to them and I enjoy their company. So because all of this was happening with all this Gemini and Cancer about being family, the Mercury was in the third house of siblings and neighbors. So that's why these words are pulled in like that.
Right, that's how you're basically translating from the chart where all of these planets are. You know, Mercury being in the third house, that's siblings. That's why you even put siblings in the affirmation.
Correct.
So
correct. And Mercury is in the sign of Leo. So it is about,
having
expressing
fun, entertaining.
And, right. And being joyful and having fun. So anyone
those were
that
the three dominoes we were talking about.
Boom, 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 boom. And that goes from 1 a.m. on Tuesday, September 4th until 1:26 a.m. Because we do have
bright and early.
I'll be up. I'll have to grab that. If we go too much earlier than the 1 a.m., which we could do because we still have the Cancer rising. But if we go too much earlier than the 1 a.m., we get Saturn right on the seventh cusp,
which
seventh
is
house
opposite.
cusp, and we don't want Saturn on an angle.
It's the 3 o'clock mark on the chart.
And then if we do it anytime after 1:26 a.m., then Pluto gets too close to the seventh house angle. We don't want that so close to the angle there. So that's what I've got coming up.
Nice. I like those
this
talismans.
weekend. Yeah, those will be good. And I put anything that I do immediately on Instagram. Literally, I snap a picture of the beads. They're not even baked yet. They're still in raw form. I have just finished my talisman making process. And if you are also in kind of following me in your ritual, you'll be seeing when I send this Instagram and a little post about it that you'll be finishing up your ritual at the same time. And then I'll hear back from you, even if it's this 1 o'clock, 1:26 in the morning.
That would be fun.
So let me know what your...
We'll see who does it out there.
Right. Well, let us know what your rituals are, and we can share some of those ideas with the
podcast
peeps.
listeners.
The peeps. Yeah. The PL's podcast listeners.
Yeah, absolutely.
PCL.
So let's get to our mother-daughter story. So we were discussing a little bit about our Mars retrograde and Mars direct past lessons and plans.
Well, both of our Mars are in Capricorn, so we've been waiting for this time to like move forward with what we have been thinking about this whole summer. And it sounds kind of funny to say that our travels have been nonstop, and I know some people know that we've been detoxing in order to use the Mars retrograde in a perfect alignment. And I'm going to continue that, by the way.
Good.
I hope you, if you're eating my food, you're eating my food. Just like that.
Yes, of course. I've really enjoyed it. I think I'll keep it going as long as I can.
I've so enjoyed it. So I just feel ready and raring to go. And we have new plans, set for ourselves and for the business.
And really, this whole summer we've been really recording, getting our podcast together. And once both Mercury and Mars were in forward direction, this is when we planned to send out our message.
That's right. Went out this afternoon beautifully.
It did.
Good job, Alex. You did it all. You did it all.
It was fun. I got to record that video of us here in the pod or in the studio and put that up on our podcast page that we created with our producer Jazz Fuzz. And yeah, it was fun putting it all together. It was finally gaining some ground, and we've now this is our 7th episode, so we're starting to get good at this.
We're enjoying it. We're
Absolutely.
Preparing certainly better.
Yes.
And actually, another good description of this Mars in direct motion. For the first time today, you put a outline together, which we were last time. I was just writing notes kind of as we were driving over here.
We wing things a lot. We definitely do
we're
that.
Pisces, we do that. But you have us having a whole list of outlines. So that's another Mars direct, you've got a plan here that we're going to stick to. So I like that. But did you want to talk quickly about the last time Mars went?
Yeah. So Mars goes retrograde about every 2 years. And 2 years ago, some of our past customers, some of our She Beads customers, which She Beads was the company that you had for 26 years.
Yeah, or more.
Yes, we had studios all over the North Shore of Chicago where people could come in and watch us make beads, and we would just make beads that were pretty looking and handmade.
Handmade in America. I had trained 25 artisans. We had probably 40 employees. It was a big deal.
We had some flagship stores in Japan and Australia. I got to travel there twice. It was beautiful. And so that was 26 years in the making. You created this beautiful company.
It was my third baby.
It was my sibling. And so 2 years ago, we decided, and this was when Mars was in retrograde, in April of 2016, we decided to close the She Bead store to step fully into intention beads. And mainly I was the initiator of that, because I saw for 26 years I was a part of the company. Yes. I mean, really, child labor, but I loved it. Let's be honest. I'm a hard worker. Remember that Mars in Capricorn. Mm-hmm. But I saw that, your spark during all of those years. I saw that passion. I saw that drive. And, I would then, once you started this new company called Intention Beads, and you were learning more about astrology and you had this hunger for it, I could see the difference between when you were talking about She Beads products and Intention Beads products. And it was night and day. Because your spark, your passion, your drive for Intention Beads had exponentially passed that of She Beads. Because I felt that you were all in. And so I remember the day that I came to you and was like, okay, I have this crazy idea. Mm-hmm. Let's think about.
Because anytime you would have said it before, I was like, well, who are you talking to?
Right.
You're not talking to me.
It was your baby. Yeah. You're not going to do anything with Right. And so let's just brainstorm on this crazy idea. What if we were to close the store?
And you know what I said? I'll remind you. I'll never forget. I said, well, can you remind me again tomorrow because I'm not really throwing up yet.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I was like, I'm not actually like regurgitating what you're trying to say because I don't even have a stomach ache. So it was kind of interesting. Then when we talked about it the next day, it's like, you know what? Let me look astrologically what's going on. I see Mars going in retrograde within a couple days. And I thought, you know what? If we were going to use any time to put our energy, to complete a cycle, complete what it is that I need to do after these 26, 27 years, we sat with our calendar and my astrology calendar, and we went, tell the employees we're closing this date. Put the sign up on the front window on this date. Send our email to our stores and to our internet clients. And we had everything planned out in that 2-month period. So by the time Mars went direct, we were out of that studio into our new sanctuary, and we had all clean new energy. Yeah. And that was 2 years ago, 2 months ago. 2 years and 2 months ago.
And ever since then, we have been, world travelers because that studio was a huge anchor for us. Yeah. We were there 9 to 5. Every day.
Unless I was traveling doing intention beads.
Right.
So, running 2 companies was certainly difficult. And if I haven't thanked you enough, thank you.
You're welcome.
For making that major statement that I didn't, either throw up or hit you upside the head.
But yeah, I mean, like think about all of the opportunities.
I was losing interest. Had. It was. I guess that's how I would say it because Mars.
You were evolving.
Yeah, I was evolving. Yeah.
This was completely the step. This was the step, and I could see it clearly. You couldn't, but I mean, even just being there to help you see it, I was proud to be that person.
Well, thank you, because here you are as my boss and business partner and intention beads, that we are able to put all 100% energy and now the 120% energy into our next plan. And our next plan for the next 2 years is to, teach more.
Yes.
To do these podcasts.
Yes.
To be the bridge to help people and excite them about learning more about their natal chart, what energies they breathed in, and continuing to do talismans. And of course, that's who I am. And that's what we do best, to support one's change and challenges and growth in this lifetime. What we call this bag of bones that we said that we wanted in this life.
For sure. And let's close too with our lessons learned in this 2018 Mars retrograde, and maybe our personal plans for the Mars direct.
Will you go first?
Okay. Well, I really think that this Mars retrograde really helped me with my own personal power, because I feel, and I mean, I don't necessarily need to have this go into the astrology realm, but I might as well. Being a Pisces, I did give my power away a whole lot. I was able to, I'm a great helper. I know, how to serve others very easily. It's probably like a go-to for me. But in this Mars retrograde, I was really contemplating about my own personal power, about what I had control over and the changes that I could make in my life. And so I pretty much just had this epiphany, I guess, of just really harnessing my own power, learning how to cultivate it, learning how to grow it. And I'm still working on it, but sustain it to a certain degree. So I think that that's where I am going forward in the future, especially with this Mars in Capricorn, and I have it natally. So I'm going to be working on this a whole lot and just making sure that I have my plans hashed out and I keep to them. I keep on that determination.
Focused. And for me, it's really continuing my detox. I have adored it. I feel like my shape is coming back at age 62. And that's really a surprise for me. I was looking at my closet the other day, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I clean out my closet because I've been keeping everything that, you shouldn't.
And as a side note, I bet nobody really believes that you're 62.
Wait, but can we tell the story that happened today, actually?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
So you're heading to a wedding. You've got a cousin's wedding that's coming up this weekend. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you've looked for a dress. There's nothing in your closet you claim that you want to.
I have many cousins, and I've worn all my dresses a couple of times. Now it's about finding a new one.
And you went shopping, and you weren't like digging anything.
Yeah, right.
So this morning I'm like, Alex, let me go to my closet, and I might have a few things that I haven't worn in a while. And I pulled this beautiful green dress out that I haven't fit into in, 15 years. And you put it on and it looked beautifully. I still had the shoes that I bought for the dress. Mm-hmm. And you are going to wear your mother's dress.
Ding, 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 ding.
Talk about mother-daughter. I'm the one going to your closet going, oh man, is this a puffy shirt that I can wear?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You've been borrowing. There would be some days when I'm like looking at you being like, I'm pretty sure that's my shirt.
It's a tank top and I'm wearing things over it. So it doesn't have to go all the way down.
And for many years, I would never wear your clothes. And I think now I'm totally loving your style. I think you have great style.
Thank you. Anyway, I thought that was a funny story that happened today. But for me to use my inner lessons and my Mars forward, that we live 4 blocks from Lake Michigan. It is one of the reasons why I bought this place 15 years ago. And I have been to the beach 4 times this year. So I want to add physical exercise now along with this, with my detox, because this detox is really working for me. I'm feeling stronger. I'm looking better. I'm sleeping better. Everything is working like it should better. And now if I can add that physical vitality where I'm actually going to run to the beach in the morning, do my meditation there and come back and still not have my coffee. I still get that one coffee. I was having it like once a month, but you served up a really nice cup of coffee in Mont-Tremblant, and I'm dying for another one. But
well, we'll see how that works.
So, how are you using Mars moving forward?
Yeah, we want to hear it.
What last 2 months that hurdles that you couldn't get over, that you figured out new ways to lift those legs up and get over? We want to hear, because this is important. We'll bring this on the show.
On air? Yeah, for sure. If you want personal reading with Sandy, we're doing a special offer only for our podcast listeners. And trust me, we never give discounts on any of these readings. If you go to intentionbeads.com/podcast, there you're going to see a little button on the right that says book your reading with the podcast special. Click that button and use the password JazzFuzz, all lowercase JAZZFUZZ, and you will get $20 off an hour reading. See you there.
And let's do this too. I'd like to offer a birth chart. When you can have your birth chart in your hand, it gives you the map for this lifetime. It excites me to know you're one step closer to diving into more self-awareness. So come along for the journey. Send me your email address, your birth date, your birth year, your time, the city and state that you were born. I will construct or cast your natal chart and email that to you so that you're able to follow along to know where your specific planets are and in alignment in your natal chart.
It's an awesome exclusive offer we're giving you guys. I recommend doing both, if not just the free birth chart. We we love to teach you about astrology, and we love to make it personal. So let's make it personal.
Yeah.
So remember, get in touch with us. You can go to our website, intentionbeads.com. Follow us on Instagram at intention_beads. Message us there as well. Same with Facebook. We would love to hear your stories, what's going on with this, Mars direct or any of the transits that have been going on. And reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
We want to know what you're doing.
Cool. Well, until next time,
peace.
Get some energy going.
Peace.
Peace and harmony.